Hi, Snorgle. Welcome back to what was Peaceful Nether, but there really wasn't a lot of meat to that series. However, I did get a happy guest there, and I thought, this is not going to be a permanent one, but I thought I could extend this series once more by just kind of cruising around and checking out what it's like to do a happy guest. Now, so the control's a little weird. There's no down. Up is the standard jump. Directional keys are directional, of course. Moves at a very chill rate. My goodness. I'm digging it. Also, look at this weird place I spawned in. This gives such a different view of things. Very interesting. And the gas just kind of goes where you want it to. You use directional controls. Look at that. Isn't that weird? I know. I agree, Ghast. I agree. Really cool. So when I thought it would be kind of fun just to check out where we go. Like I said, the directional controls are a little bit weird because down is let's do this. Down is looking down. But I just thought we'd kind of cruise around, talk a little bit, see what's going on. I have spent a huge amount of time today working on the contest. So I'm working on a contest. There's a bunch of puzzles and stuff. We have a dedicated server for it. I did a bunch of really interesting puzzles today that I'm pretty pleased with. Hopefully they're not too hard. I know they'll be okay. They'll be okay. Random by Guppy. Guppy seems to think it's fine. So Guppy's got the final say so, of course. Of course. But I just thought there would be just a nice little short series here, kind of checking out the Happy Ghast. Very cool. This is another thing I think is interesting, is that looking around here, right? But lots of floaty stuff in this world. What the heck? Just kind of looking around here, right? It kind of reminds me like you can really get a view of the topography and how stuff works here. What is that? We have to go check that out, of course. Yeah, look at this. This is a really strange world. It's very odd. It's very cool though. This is very cool. I'm very, very excited about this whole thing. Yeah, look at that. My goodness. That was really cool to see as it spawned in, to see the water initially start flowing down. Look, you see it with the lava too. That's really cool. I don't think I've seen that before. The gas move at a fairly chill rate, I think. I kind of like it. Yeah, let's go. We're just going to check it out and see what... I really... It gives such a different view. If you want to see more of this, I was thinking of just doing the one-up, but if you want to see more of adventures with the Happy Ghast and I, let me know in the comments. Or drop by our Discord. If I remember, I'll try to link it. And I'll pin that link if I remember. If I don't, remind me, I'll do it. It's the interesting on the right there, those little balloon things. I'm not quite sure what those mean. Really? Okay, I'll take your word for it. But I just thought it would be just really interesting to sort of check out this world from a completely different vantage point. Just, let's see. So you look down and you start going down. That's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. That's an interesting choice. I wonder why they chose that and not going down. I guess because to dismount it, I'm not sure actually. I don't know. I'm not going to try now because I had a heck of a time. For whatever reason, I don't know how people do this, but for whatever reason, what's that? That looks like a building under the sea. What is that? I don't know what that is. I don't think I've ever seen that before. If you don't know and you've never seen me before, I'm kind of a Minecraft noob. I've only been playing about 6 months. I feel like I've come a long way in that 6 months, but there's still so much. People are so, what's the right word? People are so knowledgeable about Minecraft, and it blows me away how much people know. Like I don't think there's anybody who could know everything. Even the people I look at, the OG Minecrafters on YouTube, right? Even they say, I have to look stuff up all the time. I know, I was surprised too. So I just think that's really cool. I think that's super interesting, that nobody can really know everything. And the players are so different. There's so many different types of players. There's the redstone players, there's the PvPers, there's the ones who just have everything min-maxed and can get everything and get to the end in like an hour and beat the Ender Dragon. And it's just really interesting to me. I can see how there's a lot of people who say when you beat the Ender Dragon, then I guess I don't do dragons, so I'm not going to really do that. But I guess if you beat the Ender Dragon, there's like islands in that world you can go to or something. I don't know if there's boats or something, whatever. But like I said, I watched a couple of things and Dragon Overload. I don't like dragons. I don't do dragons. But it's really actually quite interesting because let's go this way a little bit. It's interesting. Wow, this is really cool. I mean, the gas just goes whichever way you look. That's really cool. That's neat. Look at that. Look at that. Maybe not a thumbnail. So cool. What's that down there? See that light? What is that? You don't know. I like the idea I'm having a conversation with this Ghast. Wonder why the Ghasts are so sad in the Nether. Maybe just because they're in the Nether and it makes them bummed out? I'm not sure. Handle's pretty good though, gotta say. Looking down there on the left there, see if I can see what the source of that light is. Can't though, which is fine. That's fine. It's quite interesting. It gives that totally different. I can see why there's a lot of players. Apparently, you can get an elytra, and you have elytra and a bunch of fireworks. You can basically just fly around. I've seen some people kind of do that. I've tried using elytra a little bit with some PvP stuff, and it's harder to control than it looks like. I'll just say that. I wasn't very good at it at all, but that's practice. You just have to practice it. It looks like some pigs are having a little meeting down there. But yeah, I just thought this would be just a really fun little one-off thing, cruising around on my Ghast. Maybe I'll do it every once in a while. I don't think I already have the one where I'm exploring, and I don't want to overdo that too much. That one's kind of I know, but it's okay. We'll do stuff every once in a while, Ghast. It's fine. You can just have a chill time. But yeah, I just thought it would be interesting to do this and try it out. So I doubt this is going to be a full hour. It might be 20 minutes or so of me just kind of cruising around, checking out the world and Happy Ghast. And it's interesting to me to look at. You get such a different view up here of the topography of the land and the makeup. And it really reinforces kind of what I say in my peaceful series, which is that it's so interesting to me and how detailed they are with the way the lands all work together. So you can have plains, but one plains looks cohesive. Each plains look cohesive to themselves, and they can actually be radically different in how the procedural generation works. It's really interesting to me. Same with mountains. If you're around an area, the mountains have a cohesion to them with the way they're built. They look unique. I think and up here you can just see the way that it's layered and built. It's really cool. I might do this again just for my own my own entertainment, because this is neat. This is really, really cool. I'm definitely having a really good time with this. So interesting. I also love how they add like the curvature of the Minecraft planet to it. I think that's cool. I think that's really neat. I wonder if flat earthers have a fit about that. They probably do. I don't know. I'm not a flat earther myself. Of course not. I'm not a maniac. Let's head this way a little bit. See what's over there. Looks like there's something kind of over there. Not sure though. I don't think Ghasts have an enormous amount of I'm happy or unhappy. I don't think they have a lot of health. I think. I also think that I saw something where somebody had like, they put something, I don't know what it was, they put something in a boat and then like connected 4 leads to it or something like that and towed it along with the gas, which was pretty funny. It looked really funny. I don't know where that was. Might have been on, I don't think it was Lifesteal. I don't know what it was, but it was really funny. It was really, really funny. So anyway, I've been working on the contest, and I'm not going to give anything away because I think some people who are going to participate in the contest might be watching this video. But I'm really pleased with the direction that the riddles and the puzzles are coming along. I think it's going to be enjoyable. Hopefully, there's a couple of big builds I need to work on. And then, of course, there's another member of the community who's going to be doing some really cool builds on that as well. Okay. There's pumpkins. I read something that said that pumpkins were a little bit rare. And I thought that was interesting because they might be. I seem to run across them in most of my worlds, but maybe by rare they mean, 5% or something like that. Which is not, it's not super rare, but it's, rare enough. Rare-ish. So, yeah, about the context, I'm very happy with the way the thing's going. I have a kind of theme I'm working on here. And Guppy approves, of course. If you don't know, Guppy's my cat from my previous world. Not my current world, because I don't have a cat yet, but I'll get one. Look at the sun. Oh, the sun rising from up here, too, is really cool. It looks really neat. Like watching the night flow away and the sun start to come up with the colors they choose. It's really cool. I'm very impressed. I've mentioned this before. I'm very impressed with the developers of Minecraft. The Mojang is... I don't think that people realize what a stunningly good job they do. Like, legit. Look at those colors. Oh, it's so amazing. And to see this huge valley here, it's so different to view it from up here than it is from like down in the boat in my other series where I'm going through and I experience it on the ground. It's such a radically different experience. This is really fascinating. And just kind of chilling and cruising along. This is very cool. I'm doing there's some lava, there's some Minecraft trivia. What is that? I guess that's not man-made. I guess it's not. It kind of looks like it, but obviously it's not. I know, I was a little disappointed too, Ghast. But kind of does look man-made though, doesn't it? A little bit. Interesting. Some of those massive shrooms. Oh, is that a pale forest? A pale garden? I think it is. Neat. That's what it is. It's a pale garden. That's 100% what it is. Got it. At first I thought it was rocks, but I've never seen it from this above it before. That's really interesting. I need to install. I think somebody mentioned to me that from when I play 1.0.0, and I've been doing that, every once in a while, just as a sort of historic experience. And somebody mentioned to me that I probably should use like a cursed forge loader because then it's not going to screw up my standard Minecraft. I think that's a really good idea. I haven't installed that yet, but I'm planning on doing. Look at the size of that tree. Good splorg. I mean, I knew they were tall, but look how tall they are. Look how much they just tower over the rest of the forest, which is not exactly small. That's what I'm saying. Just seeing it. Well, that was abrupt. Seeing it from this angle just impresses me even more. Holy crap! Interesting. So I think that for the contest, we're going to do it in adventure mode. So there can be no shenanigans. I think we'll do it in adventure mode. I think we're going to turn off the day night cycle. I think that's what I think we're going to definitely do that. Look at the change. It's just so interesting to see. I'm even more impressed with the trees when I look at them from up here. Really, that's really cool. That's really neat. Just to see it at this angle is really cool. Oh, look, the lava's burning something down there. Wonder what? Probably a bush or something. Some horses, lovely. This is so much fun. I'm having such a great time. I might do this every once in a while. Like I said, it's looking to be a regular thing because I already have one where I'm exploring it. But I really do like seeing this from this angle. It's so interesting. Anyway, the puzzles are going to be cool. There's going to be there's going to be some wayfinding ones, and there's some trivia, and it's going to be super fun. So if you want to do that, like I said, I'll try to remember to put the link to the Discord, and like come by and let me know. And then I'll be reaching out to everybody, asking them individually if they want to join or not. Because people are extremely people. I just gotta say, my community is so great. I mean, the title community is, but everybody is just so fantastic, and everybody's just does such a great job, and is so nice and contributes so much. And even people like Twisted and Swag and Dimian who and even Kaz who donate a decent amount of time. And just are so nice and so helpful and respectful and really sort of make the community what it is. And somebody like Watches Too Much YouTube who's so super helpful. I just want to give shout outs here where I can. And then there's Danny and Barney who are also incredibly knowledgeable and helpful. I think it was Danny who recommended I play Inscription, which is like a horror card game. Which I know sounds weird, but it is so much fun. It is so much. Look at the way those rocks look on the left. That's so funny. Hey, look, some iron. Oh, this is what I want. I wanted to see some of the cold. I absolutely want to see what some of the cold look like. Is that a goat? The mountain goat. On the left there, on the bottom. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Look at that. That's so cool. Look at that. You have the goats and you have the frozen stuff, but then like right next to a cherry orchard. That is so cool. I love seeing it from up here. Oh, there's more cherry orchards over there. That's really neat. I love that. You kind of don't see that from the ground. That's fascinating. That's really interesting. I think the mountain goats are a little bit rare. Not super rare, but a little bit. Also, I did some looking. I on my last exploring Minecraft, yesterday's video, when this video was released, I came across a giant ruined portal. And I wasn't sure what it was, and apparently it's not extraordinarily rare, but it is a little rare. I guess there are 13 types of portal that spawn. They're not procedurally generated, so they're very specific types of portals. I think this is right to spawn. Correct me if I'm wrong. And only three of them are these giant portals that are like 4 times the size of a normal portal, and I guess there's like a 5% chance. So a little rare, but not hugely rare. And I checked onto Reddit, and it's so funny because some people are like, oh yeah, I've seen some of those, and other people are like, I've never seen one of those, and I've been playing this for years. I think that's interesting how often that happens in Minecraft. I think it's really fascinating. Look at more. Oh wow, man, we are lucking out on the cherry orchards today. Or is that just a lone tree? Surely not. No. I love the cherry orchard so much. It's probably one of my favorite biomes. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite because I like the desert biomes in first, and I think Badlands are second. I think cherry is probably maybe in a tie with Badlands. Look at that, just 2 cherry trees, not any more than that. Just a tiny little biome. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I love the procedural generation of the trees. Especially the cherry trees are my absolute favorite. They're so cool. I need to really look at the code because it's how do I say this? I would love to know how they do the procedurally generated trees. Like it's fun. They didn't used to be procedurally generated. It's also interesting too in my Minecraft 1.0.0 playthrough. The tree generation is a little bit different, and I'm almost positive it's not procedurally generated because I kind of looked it up because I'm turning into a Minecraft tree dork. Guilty as charged. But I looked it up and apparently they changed to procedural generation at some point. But the thing that's interesting to me is that in 1.0.0, the foliage on the trees is lower. And so it's significantly more difficult to find a path through a forest. At least my limited experience. I've only played it a few times. I only played for maybe a couple hours total. A few hours maybe at the most. And so I'm just talking about my personal experience of that. And It's that they raised it up a little bit, so there's a lot more opportunity to just find a path through without having to chopping through leaves, which is really interesting. And I know that because that's the primary thing I do in my exploring Minecraft. I just go in a single direction and just explore as much as I can, and you end up going through a lot of trees. And there's always a sort of path you can find 98% of the time without having to do anything, without having to cut down any leaves. But that is not the case when Minecraft was first released, apparently, which is interesting. There's so many small, thoughtful changes like that. It's so fascinating to me. Like, look at this is so cool. This is really neat. I love watching this. And the distribution of the flowers, that's really cool too. I mean, I think people don't think a lot about how much thought goes into a game like this, and especially a game like this that is not just any game, because a lot of thought goes into most games. But how they distribute the flowers so it looks so natural is really cool. That is so neat. I really, really love it. Hey, there's another mountain goat. Look at that. Huh. We are pretty high. Like this is a pretty high altitude for floating snow block. That's funny. Yeah, more mountain goats. That's neat. Love it. This is such an interesting, it's kind of blowing me away how different it is experiencing it from up here than it is down there. And I would argue it's probably even different than Elytra, right? Because Elytra, you're flying around and you're, typically when I see people who use Elytras, they're going pretty fast. And part of it could be a lot of people go fast because they're min-maxing. There's so many cherry orchards that they're far more common than I would have thought. Although we're traveling pretty good distances. We've already traveled, 2,000 blocks already. Interesting. What is that red stuff over there by the... See that? What is that? I don't know what that is. Is that lava? In a cherry orchard? Let's go check it out. I think it might be. Oh, it's lava or pumpkins. I think it's lava. Oh, it is. It's a portal. It's a ruined portal. Got it. A regular sized ruined portal. Interesting. Yeah, those giant portals were really cool. Those I just had never seen that before, and it kind of blew me away. Coming up to another nighttime. Let's keep going. Checking this out. Look at that. Look at that. Go down a little bit, I think. A little bit high. So to see more of the finer points. That's a big orchard. That's no 2-tree orchard there on the right. That's a big one. You kind of can go up by looking up too. That's curious. That's interesting as well. So you press space to go up, but you also just look up to go up. That's interesting. What a cool idea. What a really, really cool idea that someone had for this at Mojang. Somebody at Mojang came up with the idea with a happy Ghast. I wonder if it was met with people like, I don't know. It's not what Ghasts are, I love the fact that when you turn them into, I guess it's a Ghastling, something like that. It's a little tiny baby Ghast after you rehydrate it, and it goes from being sad, because even in the dried Ghasts, they're sad, like Ghasts are in the Nether. And when it gets like halfway there as a Ghastling, it's like got a straight mouth. It's not sad anymore, but it's not happy either. And then it turns happy when it gets large. I guess not large when it spawns. I don't remember. I did this, I spawned the Ghast a while ago. Hey, look, a village. We won't be stopping because we're on our gas, but neat. I also have trouble dismounting the Ghast and not losing it and then have to chase it down for like a half an hour. That happened 3 times before I started this video. I had to start and stop this video like 3 times. So apparently if you have, I think this is true. I think the gas will kind of stay around the player. If it doesn't have a harness on it, it's 64 blocks. It roams 64 blocks, but not more than that. And if it does have a harness on it, it roams 32. But it's not. It takes it forever to come up to you, so you kind of have to wait, like, because it's it's doing its gas thing. I love seeing up here at night too. Like, it's so interesting to see how the little changes they make at night. It's very, very, very curious. There's some, is that lava on the left or maybe some red sand? I'm not sure. Probably lava. It might be another ruin. It probably is another ruin portal. That would be my guess. Because I see some of the netherrack too. So that's probably what that is. This is so cool. I wonder if anybody's mapped the stars. I'm assuming that's just a like a sky bridge. It's just a standard sort of billboard up there, I assume. Skybox, not bridge. But I don't know. Actually, I don't know at all. It could not be. It could not be, but I mean, it probably is, frankly. I like the way that the little firefly bushes like sprinkle, and twinkle from up here. It looks really cool. Looks really neat. I'm so excited about the contest, though. There's a bunch of ways to go, but look at that, huh? A scorp. Look at that lone tree just sitting on that floating thing. Huh. Curious. And that one little outcropping of rock is like, wait, come back. Look at that. And look down there. Like look at that. Doesn't that look cool? The way that mountain is? That's what I mean when I talk about that a little bit. Like there's so many, and it'd be one thing if somebody just made it, but the fact it's all procedurally generated and it's sticks together like that is just, and look, like right there, it's that same kind of style around here, and all the stuff around here kind of looks that way. That's what I'm talking about. Is it the way that it builds up is consistent and cohesive across this singular biome. It's just so smart. So smart. So thoughtful too. I was talking to somebody, I think it was on a live stream, and they mentioned that you don't feed a cookie to the parrots if you have a pet parrot because it will kill them. And they did that because that's the case in real life. If you feed, I think, chocolate or a cookie or something like that to a parrot, they will die. And I obviously somebody felt strongly about that. What is that down there? I guess more lava. Obviously somebody felt strong enough at Mojang that they put that in, and I think that's really smart. I think that's really, really smart. What's that blue stuff over there? Is that water maybe? I'm not sure. See that? Maybe flowers? Probably flowers? Probably. I kind of can't wait to see another sunset. Not gonna lie. I mean, sunrise. So in the summertime, if you want to run, like jog, exercise, I live where it gets very, very hot in the summertime. It gets in the triple digits easily for months. And so I have to get up really early, and so typically I'd get up right before the sun is rising. And it's always interesting because you see the baby bunnies are out first, just everywhere, right? It's not the case quite anymore because for some reason all the rabbits have disappeared from my neighborhood and I'm not quite sure why. But typically the baby bunnies would come out first and they just completely disappear. And the birds would come out then and start singing and do bird stuff. And then after that, the regular rabbits come out and the baby bunnies are gone at that point. It was really consistent every single morning. It was really, really consistent. But I don't really run that much anymore because it's terrible on my tendons. I went to a sports doctor. And it was basically like, I mean, you could do it and you could really work on your technique and be okay. But he said my physiology is much more built for sprinting than it is for longer running. And he said you can do it and everything, but you really need to work on your technique and a bunch of other stuff. It's not going to come easy for you like it is for a lot of people. And I was like, well, screw that. I'll just stick to bike riding. It's better. But it's better for me for the cardio. But I miss running. The thing I miss about running is that zone you get into, right? It's almost meditative, where the only thing you hear is the incidental noise of things around you, especially that early in the morning, right? There's not that many cars around. It's like 4:35 in the morning. There's not that many cars around. There's not any people out really, except maybe one or two other runners, maybe. And so it's just the incidental sounds around you and your feet hitting the pavement, and that methodical sound of your feet hitting the pavement. It's really meditative for me. It's very like a you can just clear your mind of everything and just be in the moment, which is I think that's important. That's why a lot of people do meditation, is to be mindful and to just experience what you're experiencing at the time and not have your mind constantly racing about problems you're having at work and maybe you're having a disagreement with a friend or a colleague, or maybe you have to get your car repaired and you're not sure where the money's going to come from, and just all the things that life throws at you, and sometimes it's just good to clear your mind of all that and just focus and experience the moment. Like, that's really important. It's one of the things that Buddhist meditation does. Lots of meditation does that, but I think it's really important to do, and it's surprisingly hard. Because if you start to do it and you start to get into it, and your mind slowly starts going back to other stuff. I got to buy a new pair of shoes. I got to get that. I got to do that. Oh, I'm almost run out of trash bags. I got to buy that. Just this constant whirling of your mind, and you just kind of try to stop, refocus, and pull all that out of your mind so you're just experiencing the moment. Is that a ship over there? Must be. I think that's extraordinarily difficult, but it's really cool and helpful to do. And you find that you can think better, and you can at least for me, can problem solve better, and just more able to cope. I highly recommend it. I do highly recommend it. The sun's coming up. The moon's going down on the left there. See it? Kind of sinking down there, waiting for another night so the sun can go down and the moon can start its thing again. We're on our happy Ghast, just experiencing Minecraft from 120 blocks above the ground. Probably not. It's probably closer to 64 blocks, maybe 84, but just cruising along in our Ghast, experiencing Minecraft. This is such a unique way to experience it. It really changes the way that I think about. I was kind of leaning towards that way, but I didn't really see it like this before. And this is pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It's incredible, to be frank. It's so amazing. I think, there's another, is that a big one? I don't think that is on the right there, another ruined portal. I don't think that's one of the large ones. It might be, I'm not sure. It doesn't quite look large enough, but I'm also way up here looking at it from a totally different angle, so who knows. Another village. Lovely. Oh, they got the little fountain. I always like that, the little fountains. They have little fountains. I always think that's cool. Back in the center of their town, they got a little fountain. They got the bell that I think the bell is like an emergency bell, right? I think so. The bell's like ding, ding, ding. Go inside. Trouble's coming. I'm responsible for so many villages completely dying off because I'm stupid and don't pay attention. I need to go check out that village in my base world too. I blocked some people in their homes, and I kind of lit it up. I don't think my concern is I did not light it up enough. That's my concern. We'll see. But another day, and I think that's a pretty good place to end this video. Thank you so much for watching this playthrough of just me and my Ghast traveling around Minecraft. So much fun, so cool. I'm going to do this probably every once in a while, not very often, because I don't think it's particularly engaging, but I enjoy experience Minecraft from this particular vantage point. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for something new or something old. See you next time.